Hi, folks. My name is Sharath, and I'm here to talk to you about Data Hub deployment on GCP. And before we dive into it, maybe a brief introduction about myself. My name is Sharath. I am a data engineer at Confluent. I've been one of the first Ds in Confluent, and that means I've helped set up the tech stack, the data stack, help build out some of the tools that we use within the data science and engineering teams. Um, yeah, so let's talk about today's agenda. We'll cover a few use cases of why Data Hub is a tool that is going to be valuable for Confluent's internal data warehouse team. We'll talk about the data stock and the Data Hub deployment steps. Also, what the current status is and the future plans with Data Hub. So let's get into it. So at Confluent, our data warehouse stack is basically we are a Google workshop, right? So we use BigQuery as our data warehouse. We use Cloud Composer, which is Airflow, as an orchestrator. For high volume jobs, we use PySpark on Dataproc, which is again a managed cluster on GCP. Um, and essentially within BigQuery, we have multiple layers. Think of these as schemas. Landing is like a raw layer. We have modeling and transformation layer. Then we have the clean layer. And finally, the reporting layer where various data scientists, business stakeholders, power users build out reporting views and tables to essentially pull out the data that they want from the data warehouse. And what are the use cases? So like we said, we have these different layers and we want to make sure that anyone who looks at this data has an understanding of what this data represents, what schema it represents, and just at a high level, even column and table level descriptions. And I think documentation is an essential part. We want to make sure that it's centralized and visible to anyone who wants to use the data. When we talk about onboarding, um, right now, we have the data warehouse set up in a way that all of the lineage that exists within the data warehouse, which is BigQuery, will be existing or will be seen in Data Hub. But eventually, we want to onboard various engineering teams who have Kafka streams as their input, who could have their own silo databases. And another example is right now we have data sources where an engineering team produces data into a Kafka topic. We use a connector to push the data into BigQuery. And then there are multiple layers, like you see that transformations happen and you see a final table that could be real time, real plus a batch, or it could be a batch processing over real time. But this lineage would help us essentially identify, okay, this reporting table has a source of this Kafka stream, and not just the internal data warehouse tables, but also the source of the stream that we have the data from. And the third part is visibility. I think it's needless to say that data lineage would increase the visibility of how the data flows within the system. Will also allow engineering teams to use these emitters for them to emit additional information like owners, or if there is additional information on lineage, metadata, then these emitters can be used for folks who want to understand how the data is flowing. Yeah. So why Data Hub? So we did look at a few options. I looked at Lyft's Amundsen. We also looked at one of the proprietary metabases. So we use Metabase as a BI tool, and we wanted to derive lineage using Metabase, but that had very high limitations. And Data Hub's architecture being having Kafka in their architecture, we really want to leverage this and make sure that we use Confluent, Kafka, and Data Hub's internal architecture to really power this tool that can help drive not only the metadata, but also real-time changes and alerts that could happen over this real time. So one of the other projects that we're doing is to build streaming applications. And I think this is a good example of how streaming applications can blend in with one of these metadata tools to give us good info. Um, just to not, maybe not to dive too deep, but something else that I think is important is a lot of data warehouses always fall back on things like, okay, if something changes upstream, how do we know? There's always this gap where you want to try to make sure that engineering teams are in line with the downstream users. These metadata changes or alerts that happen real time can really help communicate that. If you have a staging or a production environment, if you deploy these in these different environments, if any upstream change happens, the metadata is automatically captured and an alert is sent to downstream teams. So uh, before we dive into the deployment itself, just a high level overview. So the first step is using Helm charts. We've deployed Data Hub, and it really took us less than 30 minutes to do that. The second is using GCP. We deployed Ingress services. A third, a simple cron job to load the metadata into BigQuery, into Data Hub, BigQuery's metadata into Data Hub. And this cron job is is because we know that the tables and columns don't change very often. We have like a weekly cron job that pushes this data. And then the custom DAG that helps us emit all of the lineage data into Data Hub. So let's maybe get into the Data Hub deployment. So just quickly going over the environment, right? So as we said, we had a GCP workshop at Confluent Data Warehouse. Internal data team is the GCP, uses all of GCP services. So it only made sense for us to deploy managed Kubernetes, GCP's managed Kubernetes service, use that to deploy Data Hub. So we have a Kubernetes service that runs Data Hub right now, and our internal service, like for example, Cloud Composer, connects with this KATS service to emit any information. So before and so one of the things that we discussed is the first step of this is basically when you go to Data Hub Kubernetes and you have the quick start guide there, we had to do very little, nothing to very little changes to that guide, just some infrastructure changes where we had to increase and decrease some of the preloaded values for the CPU and the memory space. But apart from that, I think everything else that we used from the charts helped us really deploy Data Hub on GCP Kubernetes seamlessly. Once it was deployed, there were two things that we wanted to do, that we require to do. One is to run the UI, and the second is to run a GMS service ingress that would help us connect to this Data Hub service to emit any data. So Google provides, or GCP provides, a good way to create ingress services. So if you look at this slide here, we have all of these Data Hub services that are running, prerequisites that are running, and all we had to do is click on the two services, which is front end and GMS, and select and just create ingress services on this. And when you create this ingress services, GCP automatically gives you an IP address that you can use to interact with these services. And in our case, the one IP address that we used for the one ingress service that was created for the front end, the IP address would be used to interact with the UI, and the second would be used to interact with the Airflow, which is Cloud Composer. So going back, we deployed our Kubernetes using Helm charts into GCP. We created two ingress services, which is again just 2 clicks away. The next step is to run a simple tiny cron job that will push all of the data metadata into BigQuery, and this cron job could be scheduled however you feel your database, how often you feel your database is refreshed. And the final step is, I think, how do you operationalize your lineage data into Data Hub? How do you make sure that your lineage data is captured in Data Hub? So I think I'm going to take some time and maybe walking through some of these things that we set up. But before that, just a few components that are required for this. Um, so we figured that GCP's audit query log is a very good source of understanding the lineage of data. That means every query that is run against BigQuery is captured in the audit log. So any query where a source table is a table within the information schema, and the destination table is also a table within the information schema. Any queries with this that match this condition is safe to say that it's a transformation record in the audit log. For example, if I were to load table T1 from joining three source tables S1, S2, S3, then the audit log would capture one row where you would have the destination table as T1 and the source tables as S1, S2, S3. And when you think about Data Hub, that's exactly what Data Hub is doing. It's trying to take your source tables and map it to your destination tables. And BigQuery audit logs gives this out of the box. You don't have to worry about which SQL script runs which of the tables, or which SQL script is responsible for loading which of these tables. And the steps you need to get this audit log into BigQuery is also pretty simple. You have the GCP logs in the logging again as a service in GCP. A logs router can be set up to push these logs into BigQuery. They're again as basically nested rows in BigQuery. And we use Cloud Composer, again Airflow, to transform this data and push it to Data Hub as emitters, right? So thinking of the first one, on the left side, you would see here that we have a logging setup, and the destination of this logging would basically be BigQuery. And using this query on the right, I have links to this place, to the queries here. I can share this during the meeting. Um, this query essentially breaks down um, the audit log into source and destination, just two columns, just source and destination. So for every destination, what are the different source tables? Once you have this information, you're basically, what you're trying to do is you use the emitter task to use this information, embed each of these source or destination tables into an emitter task and create a tag out of it, and use this tag to push the data into Data Hub. So the next step was basically to take all of this log data, create a sort of a source and destination hierarchy, and then using the template that is given by Data Hub, create an emitter task. And using that emitter task, we create a DAG that is then executed or scheduled however frequently you want. So let's maybe take a quick look at the Data Hub emitters itself, right? So when you think about the query, this is the query that we were talking about. What is the best way to extract this query in a way, extract the log in a way that we get source and destinations. Once we have that data, all we are doing is creating upstream and downstream URNs or URNs, basically trying to say that for every destination table, let's build these upstream and downstream uh, dependencies and push this entire task as a Data Hub emitter operator. So going back, so that's exactly what we're doing here. So we are constructing these tasks and pushing the task as a DAG within Airflow. And Airflow is connected to the Data Hub service using that GMS ingress or load balance that we created. So this is the setup. Just a quick overview of what we've done. Um, we first deploy Data Hub on GCP using Helm charts that are using charts that are already provided in the Startup Quick Start guide. The next would be to create these two ingress services, which is a two-step process just to select these services and create two custom services. And the next is to use the template that's already given as an example to load BigQuery metadata. The next is to consume the logs, the audit logs, and create emitter tasks that are then pushed into Data Hub for the lineage. So we're taking all of this into consideration with um, our current status is this. We have Data Hub deployed in our sandbox. We don't have any of the fully managed services. For example, we don't have Cloud SQL or Kafka on Confluent. We're using all of the internal services that Data Hub is packaged with. What we did do is enable OIDC connection authentication using Okta, and any user who wants to access Data Hub now goes through Okta. So there is that step of security as well. And the next part is metadata and lineage. So this is pretty much automated. So we have metadata and lineage almost automated into our sandbox environment. And maybe this is a good opportunity for us to take a look at how this data looks in the current format in our sandbox environment, right? So when we look at the data here, we have a lot of different tables. And for this purpose of this demo, I've just selected one table. And this particular table has a hierarchy. When we look at the hierarchy, we have a lot of downstream and upstream dependencies. And within these downstream and upstream dependencies, we have these nested upstream dependencies will also have subsequent dependencies. For example, this particular table can have more. So all of this rich data set lineage can help when a new user is trying to understand where the data into a particular table flows in, need not worry about the code, need not worry about what the SQL does. At a high level, can start looking at where these tables populate and support and essentially push the data to and from. Yeah, and the next steps, I think for us, the next steps is to productionalize our current setup, make sure that we have the right versioning in our deployment. We also want to make sure that we have our metadata and lineage um, productionalized in a way that any time there's a new change, it's automatically pushed to Data Hub. We want to start using managed services like Cloud SQL for MySQL, or even Confluent Kafka to use instead of the data service Kafka that's already installed as a part of the charts. Also, we want to make sure that the metadata that we emit is rich. So for example, we want to add more column metadata, column level data. We want to add owners to this. We also want to add processing information. Right now, we don't use inlets and outlets. So we're trying to see what is the best way to make sure that we include the Airflow processing information into the edges. So then you have the complete view of, hey, which is the table, source table, which is the destination table, and which processing setup really helped push this data into BigQuery. Yeah, thanks a lot.